We're here today to talk about some of the changes and things we're putting into place for this upcoming season, football. Really, some of the changes that we are actually doing are to address some of the audit from 2018 that had some of the things dealing with parking and everything else, and I'll get to that in a second. But the big focus is to help improve our fan experience. That is one of the things that we've strived to do over the last several years. Of course, last year we didn't have that opportunity because we didn't have events. But even at home events, when we were able to do stuff in the spring, it was important for us to try to maximize our fan experience, everything that came along with it. So now more than ever, between parking, tickets, concessions, we're going to try to focus more than ever on that experience. Everything from tailgating to leaving the venue. So we're excited. We also have some opportunities that we have to take advantage of, but we also have to be careful is to address our COVID concerns. So with COVID right now, we're trying to put more of an emphasis on touchless actions or operations. Everything from ticketing. First is our mobile ticketing. That will be emailed next week, which is important. Tickets will be delivered through phone or through mobile devices, personal devices. They can print them at home, which is important. I think that's more. Some people will ask that question. If they want to do it through that process, to reach out to our ticket office for that and some other services. It's easy to transfer, very similar. Many of them, I think Isotopes do it now. That's very similar to what you have when you go to the airport with your boarding pass. So very similar process, but it's new for us. Many places we would have started this last year. Unfortunately, again, we didn't have it, but we're excited to get that going for this year. We're also going to game day parking. It's going to go now digital. Now what that means is all game day parking that was to replace the cash lots. This is where the audit finding found with us having cash out there, not just because of the potential of anything being stolen or anything else, but also the safety of the individuals that had that cash and not having any true safety around them. So we addressed it. We've purchased a system that's going to help us do this. This will allow us to take, if you show up to the day of the game, parking, you can use your credit card. It will be done through a credit card, or you can do it in advance and purchase all your single game parking in advance when you purchase your tickets. So easy. It'll be on your phone. If you want to buy season passes, you're able to. If you want to join the Lobo Club, there's many ways to do this and do it easily. So the one thing we want everyone to understand that there will be a $2 charge to this based on the credit card fees and everything else that come along with this in this new system. So it's really to offset the cost of this the new software and everything that goes with it. The last thing is our clear bag policy. This is, again, something that's an industry standard, I think more so now than ever. We encourage all our fans to go out there, purchase those clear bags. Make sure when you get to all our venues for all our events, from basketball to football to baseball, everything will be clear bag policy. So start the process now. It will make it easier for safety, security, and also for getting into the venue in time. So we're going to do a couple other things for mobile concessions. Again, the cashless transitions, everything that we can do to help protect from a COVID. So as you can see, a lot of emphasis on trying to take advantage of technology, trying to help with the potential of any COVID transmissions or anything else, but also making it easier for our fan base. So tailgating, we're moving the Howl Zone back to the area kind of right in front of the track on the north side of the football stadium. It's going to be just as impactful as it's been, actually even more. We're looking at partnering with our concessions. There are going to be some food vendors out there, taking what we learned from a couple years ago of doing it right here on the west side of the football stadium to the north area. So more of a general location. I think our fan base is going to be excited about it. But those are just many of the things that we're going to start and we're going to emphasize for this year. Questions?
With COVID in mind, is this kind of every little bit helps to try to not keep the fans safe kind of thing?
That's a great question. So for us, COVID, as we said last year, we were trying to put a lot of plans, procedures in place, and so many of the things that we're rolling out this year we had in place ready to go out last year. Unfortunately, we just couldn't do it. So absolutely, this is something, regardless of the Delta variant and where it is today, we were going to do it because we felt it was not just to help everybody feel safe about coming to our venues, but also having the ability to expedite stuff. So getting them into the venue is important, getting them to concessions. There's more things that we're looking at to the future with this wireless concessions and everything else. So I do see us really taking the steps forward that our fans are seeing at other venues. It's something we've been striving for, and now it's just. But yes, the initial intent was to help alleviate some of the concerns from COVID.
So you've seen this take place at other events?
Yep.
And
It's
so?
Oh, I mean, it happens across the country. I think if you go to any Final Four or bowl game right now, I think it's the industry standard. You see it from not just parking, you see it from your tickets. Heck, Final Four right now, every Final Four ticket is sent to you on your phone, and transferring it, it's simple once you get to do it. So all those years of having actual paper tickets are no more for the Final Four. So it's become the industry standard for most events. From an ease, I think we all see it when we go to the airports. Most of us don't even print it out. If we go pull it in our bag, we just keep it on our phone. So yeah, we're trying to take advantage of all those opportunities as we can.
Apart from the touchless ticketing, are there any other COVID protocols, masks, vaccine, anything like that?
You know, we're working right now with our university, working with the state, with all that right now as much as we can. Our intentions are to continue to monitor this. We have provisions one way or another if any of those have to be the driving factor for us. We were always going to encourage those that have not been vaccinated to make sure that they do wear masks and protect themselves and those around them. But we're also we're going to continue to have a separation between our student athletes and the teams that everybody that operates within that team from our fan base. So it's a tier 1 is what we call it. That tier 1, everyone will have to be vaccinated. There's going to be a separation between them and the fans, as we did similar last year in some other sports, but it is more so to protect them so that we can sustain a great experience. I don't want to say positive because everybody, that's the wrong wording nowadays, but to have a good outcome when it comes to the season.
Yeah, and have you gotten any direction from the state, from the governor's office about how to operate this?
Well, we reached out to them actually and hoping to speak to them today actually again. We were supposed to speak yesterday and we both got busy, especially with the most recent mandate from the governor. So I anticipate having that conversation here, if not today, first thing by Monday. They've been really good. We've actually been communicating through text message to set this up. So I anticipate that we'll have more direction. They've been really good with giving us some understanding of what their concerns are, what their challenges are for big venues and everything else. And of course, right now we're focusing that on our outdoor venues because we have soccer, we have football. Those are outdoor venues, so we're taking that a little bit differently than what we would do for probably an indoor venue like the Pit. So we're cautiously still looking at the Pit for the future, but right now our intentions is to operate as normal, and if those changes have to be made, we will accommodate them.
Also, and you talk about it's exciting, we're bringing these events back. How are ticket sales have been so far? Have you noticed anything?
Yeah, it's been really good for us. Right now we are roughly about 80% of our season tickets sold, our season tickets renewed. We, of course, we have a traditional fan base that likes to come at the last minute to purchase or to renew their season tickets. So we feel like that number will be close to 100, if not. The great part about it is we've had over 1,000 season tickets sold, new season tickets. So there's also, that's even before we've rolled out the full single game ticket sale. So if everything continues the way it's going right now, I can easily see 25,000 for that first game, maybe even 30,000, and for sure for the the New Mexico State game, that as well.
Beyond what you mentioned about the tickets and concessions and whatnot, are there plans for any directives, regardless of what the city or state decides as it relates to masks or anything like that?
Yeah, I think we're going to do everything we can to be protective from the standpoint of having our staff members make sure they're masked where they need to be, have enough sanitary machines and everything that's going to help for encouraging individuals to make sure that they do utilize washing hands, keeping their hands clean. Our concessionaire is doing everything they have to make sure their food products and everything are done within the rules or the protocols. So our operations are all going to be in place to be able to control it the way we've always done it.
What about for coaches and players as far as, you mentioned tier 1 versus other ones? I mean, what's the plan for that right now?
So right now, NCAA-wise, as well as Mountain West, if you're fully vaccinated, of course, we're going to always have testing on site. And as we go into the season, there's the ability to continue to test before the games. And those individuals that are fully vaccinated will, at this point, will not have to wear masks, but we're going to work with the state, work with others to see. There's some states that are mandating it on the sidelines. If that's what we have to do, we will accommodate it. But our focus right now is to try to get as many of our student athletes in a position where they're comfortable, we're comfortable. If they're fully vaccinated, we're encouraging them to make that decision. Right now, we're trending in really positive for all our student athletes. I believe we're over 75% for all our student athletes being vaccinated. So it's if there's a reason, if there's a religious or medical reason, we're working with them with that. And so if they do have that, we have to make sure that they're masked and they take the same precautions and provisions that we did last year.
You mentioned the boost in, ticket sales. You're sitting here talking about stadium protocols when that wasn't the case last year. What's your general excitement under 2 weeks away from kickoff?
It's I was really hopeful last year that we would have an opportunity at least to even play here. And when things kind of just didn't pan out the way we all wanted them to, it really left a void in some respects, because what makes UNM so special, what makes our athletic department so special is our fan base and the passion that you see when you go into each of the venues. So not having them there, going to Las Vegas was great. We did a lot, we learned a lot, our kids got better, our team got better, but the fact is to be able to be here, to play in front of our fans, I think the energy within the building and our student athletes, you can see it firsthand. They can't wait to get in front. I mean, heck, today the band was practicing it on the game field. So just seeing the band back, seeing the team going through the scrimmages, seeing our kids getting excited. Our department is really, the vibe around here is everybody's getting ready from ticket sales to communications to marketing and everybody, facilities. So no, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of energy. So can't wait to the first game.
You don't look like you have any gray hair.
That's a good job done with whatever gel thing that I put in my hair.
But when you stop and think about what you had to do to get to this point, to be able to hand, those instructions out from where you were a year ago today, do you ever stop and just sit back and think about what you went through?
Yeah, it's a great question. When I was at LSU, I went through 11 natural disasters during my time there. Probably one or two more that you could have added here or there, but I learned there that how you need to prepare, but also when you do get through them, because we will, is understanding how to prepare yourself for the next one so that if it does ever happen, you're going to be ready. And that's one of the things that we took when we went forward with this was, okay, we've made it through. We did. We all took a deep breath. We needed it. We needed to, because we were going so hard, so passionate. Everybody was working really diligently to make it to where we are today. We took that deep breath, but I think what we've really experienced is, okay, just like everything else, we better get going, because it's not going to wait for us. This year's not going to just pause and say, okay, you guys ready? No. So we've laid the foundation. We're in a better place. I'm really appreciative, and I can't speak volumes about the staff and our coaches and our student athletes and everything they did to make it happen. As I said, it's a vision for me, but a vision doesn't become reality unless you have individuals that actually believe in it and see it, and then at the end of the day can see the results. And so I commend them for trusting me and trusting us that we're going to put them in a position to be successful here.
That leadership kind of thing, that's what you're talking
Yeah.
about. And who was it?
Yeah.
Nick Rolovich comes to mind here.
Sure.
But was everybody in step with you to try to get this thing done?
I 100%, and I think that's a testament to two sports that did it from two different ways. You talk about our football program, they went out there with the unknown. Didn't know what this was going to transpire, if they were going to have positive cases. They followed the script, they followed the process, and at the end of the process, they got better, they won 2 games, they left there with 0 positives. That laid the foundation for the entire department to say, okay, if they can do it, we can do it. Now then you look at our team like the swimming and diving, who unfortunately, because of the way things transpired, they basically didn't have a season. And I had to sit down with them and say, look, unfortunately this year you're not going to compete. So they went home. So our student athletes learned firsthand what it took, but also how precious this opportunity to compete at this level. So those 2 really resonated well with all the other teams. And I think if you ask all our coaches, all those experiences and all the trust that we built and all the over-communication we did helped everybody feel like, okay, we're in this together, we're going to go through this together. And we all struggled at times. It wasn't easy, it wasn't perfect, but we learned how to adapt, we learned how to pivot. There was many times we sat in front of you and we talked about something having a positive or a negative, so many here and some teams being paused. We learned from every experience, and today we're better because of that, and that's why we feel much further along than we probably would be if it wasn't for some of those challenges that we overcame. All right. Let me think. Anything else? Basketball sales, ticket sales are on sale now for men's and women's basketball, just in case if you need to put that out there. I think anything else, Frank, that I missed?
Just basically went over the clear bag. I think that's a big one because some of the people aren't not used to it.
Yeah. Clear bag will be the important one. I think the one thing is ticket sales are going really well. We're going to have, we've got tailgating lots are going to open earlier than usual because we want to encourage tailgating. Men's and women's basketball tickets are on sale, as we spoke about earlier. They're actually going well too. And I guess the crutch of all this is, as you go through mobile ticketing, parking, everything else, our customer service is going to be on site. And we're going to have individuals on game day out there at the ticket windows, at the gates to help communicate, help with any of these obstacles or challenges. But we encourage them now more than ever. Reach out to our athletic department, reach out to our ticket office, our marketing. We can find a way to get these things answered and helped out so that it can become seamless once the game day comes.